Hi guys, we're live. Let me just wait a few minutes and make sure that you are on, right? Okay, all right. So we are live on our platforms. Perfect. Awesome. Let's just hear the volume and make sure that we can hear ourselves. When you come and join us, please do say hello and type a message. We will be able to see your messages. Okay. Please do say hello and type a message. Awesome. So we are live and I can see that now. Okay, let's do that. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, depending on where you are joining us from. My name is Michelle T. Jones, and I'm here today to tell you that stress kills. Stress affects the immune system, and that's why we're going to be talking about it today. And as I talk about it, I will share with you my screen so that you too can take down notes, because this is something that we are struggling with in every part of the globe. So let me actually do my screen share right now. Hey guys, thank you for joining. Awesome, awesome. Okay. I'm seeing the messages here. Hello. Hi. Who is that coming from? If you could just let us know who you are. Oh, that's it. Okay. Denzel, thank you for joining. Lorna, Glenita, Vernal, Connie, thank you. Thank you guys for joining us. So for those of you that are joining us from the coaching group, remember that there's going to be two parts to this lecture. The first part, which is going to be shared with everyone else on this live stream. We are live on 7 platforms, including YouTube. And we will be having a second part to this, which is a more thorough investigation of your stress levels. So make sure you join us till the end. Okay. So again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone else. And we're going to be talking about stress. You see, stress affects the immune system. It causes disease. It causes metabolic dysfunctions. It causes our body's functions to go haywire. When we are busy building our business, when we are worried about our job, when we are inundated by so much information on the pandemic, on the virus, on COVID, these things we are getting right now from all the different social media platforms. When this happens, there can be such a feeling of imbalance. How many of you have experienced a lack of balance in your business, in your life, especially during the last couple of years? Give a 1 on the chat and share that with us. I want to see who among you have been affected badly by all this. It's like information overload that we're having right now. Thank you for joining us all the way from Thailand. I am assuming this is Debbie. Yes, awesome, Debbie. Jancy, hello. Thank you for joining. Denzel. So guys, let me know. Type on the chat, have you been affected by stress? Have you felt an imbalance because of all this information overload that we've been having about the pandemic, about the virus, about the vaccinations, about how to get healthy, about businesses closing? All of these are information that we've been having for such a long time. It's almost like we've been chronically stressed because of all these things that's happened since last year, since February last year. And you see, that is something that is normal. So don't get overwhelmed. And I am here to tell you that all this imbalance, all these abnormalities, all these things that you've been feeling, we can convert into wellness rather than illness in your body. Okay, let me just see how I can turn this page around. Okay. I don't know how to go to the next page. How does this work? So, okay, sorry guys. There we go. Oops. All right. I'm Michelle T. Jones. I'm a global speaker. I am a longevity expert. I apologize for stopping. I just had to make sure that we are on the same page. I am a global speaker. I am a health and wellness coach, a naturopath, a herbalist, an iridologist, a nutritionist. I've had the honor of serving more than 2,500 clients globally. I have been speaking in front of thousands of audience on stress, on wellness, and on boosting optimal health. You must be wondering why there's a T on my name. Well, when I Googled my name, Michelle Jones, I found out that there were more than 1 million Michelle Joneses online. In fact, I had clients that were complaining that they couldn't find me online and they couldn't find my information. So between my simple first name and my married name, I could not have chosen a more common name. Michelle Jones is just too common. I remember being in the airport one time and being called to go to the front because of some problem with my ticket, and I realized it wasn't me, it was a different Michelle Jones. So anyway, to avoid stress, because I like simplifying things, I like being stress free, I put a T on my name so that when you do Google me and when you want to try and find information about me, you can do so. So because after all, the more simple things are, the more stress free we are, because at the end of the day, stress does kill. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am Michelle T. Jones, and I'm sharing with you right now about stress from Jakarta, Indonesia. So, if you can see my background here, I am in the middle of the city. I am in central Jakarta, and I am coming with you because I've realized that there is so much imbalance happening worldwide. So many people are getting ill, not just with the virus that we're currently combating, but with all different stuff. We've had issues with heart disease. We've got increase in diabetes, increase in hypertension, simply because people are overly stressed. See, when we are trying to create a balance in our life, when we are wanting more stability in our life and we can't get it, or we're afraid we can't get it, our body goes haywire. And we're going to be talking more about that today. Because I wanted to ask you, how many of you who's here right now joining us have lost their jobs or have had to reinvent themselves because of problem with work, or because of downsizing with work? Let us know. Share your comments. Remember, it's only when you do share your comments that we learn from each other. So please do not be embarrassed. I want to hear from you. The other thing that people don't realize is this quest for money, this quest for a job, this quest for, more income. We have had a big issue with that, with a lot of people losing their work. But before the pandemic, money has always been a problem. In fact, check this out. This is an article from the Forbes magazine, which said that money is the number one cause of stress. We are dying for our paychecks. People are wanting money. People are stressed. People can't sleep when they don't have the money that they need. Money is needed for school, for buying the necessities, for paying for a home, for paying for your car. So even before the pandemic that we've had, people have already been stressing, getting ill, and dying because of a lack of money or stressing about money. Another thing that Forbes magazine has shared is this article saying how stress is the business world's silent killer. How many of you have heard of CEOs or big business owners who have died from, a heart attack, hypertension, who have been immunocompromised, who've had all these issues? And why is that? They have all the money, they can eat well, But because of stress, they're working longer hours, they're sleeping less. There's this amazing excuse that people nowadays have, and they say that, you only need 5 hours of sleep. You actually need more. Your body needs more. Your body rebuilds itself while you're at sleep. And because people are constantly trying to work harder, they work harder, longer hours, and they wake up early the next morning, making their sleep cycle shorter and their body's ability to heal itself shorter. So the next time you stress about a deadline, the next time you stress about work, remember that the dollar or money or your job or your business is not worth dying for. That when you deprive yourself of proper sleep, you actually deprive your body of its ability to heal itself. Your body rebuilds in the middle of the night. It's when you're in deep sleep that your body actually has the opportunity to work on something else. When you're awake, when you're thinking, when you're processing things, when you're running, when you're exercising, when you're working, when you're eating, when you're digesting, your body is not able to rebuild. Your body is busy helping you go through all those different processes that you need throughout the day. So the only time it has to actually start healing you is when you are in sleep. So remember that building a business does not mean that you sleep less. Building a business, having more stress in your life means you now have to be more conscious about the amount of sleep, amount of rest, because stress can take you and it will not be worth the amount of work you're putting in for your business or your work. Now, this next slide I find really interesting as well. This is from, I think, the science site called, here we go, SciTech Connect. And it actually says stress is the health pandemic of the 21st century. This came out, sorry, the health epidemic of the 21st century. This came out prior to COVID, prior to all the issues that we're having right now. So don't think that this pandemic on its own is what's causing a lot of people's ill health. This pandemic has compounded the epidemic of health, of stress health, or health stress, or the illness that's derived from all the stress that we've put upon ourselves. The social media, the will to want to do better, to get ahead, to be better than the people or the icons that we see on social media have added stress into our life. It's amazing how there's so many books now on, getting up at 5 o'clock, working out and doing this. But, people automatically take that on without even thinking, okay, hold on, what time have I slept? What time have I given my body to rebuild itself? I remember having a discussion with someone that said, you need to wake up and do your workout and do this as early as 5 o'clock. And I go, well, 5 o'clock is what time I wake up to get my son ready for school. And they go, well, if that's the case, then wake up an hour earlier, wake up at 4 o'clock. And that is easier said than done. You have to remember that what works for others doesn't necessarily work for you. You need to watch out for your health. You need to see what works for you. It doesn't necessarily mean when some single independent, childless business individual says, oh, you can do all this, that it will actually work for you. You have to look at everything that surrounds your life, all the things that you need to do. Now, I don't want this to be an excuse for others as well who are not really putting in the exercise, putting in the amount of work, and using stress as an excuse to not do anything. Because not doing anything, sitting at home also stresses your body. You have to remember that our muscles need movement, our muscles need to be worked on. And if you don't work on your muscles with exercise, it also stresses your body because it now can't rebuild itself. It can't keep doing what it needs to do for you. So stress comes in different forms. So you need to see the form of stress that actually affects you and affects your body. Untreated stress can actually kill you. Can you manage it? Again, as I said, the way we manage stress will depend on the type of stress that surrounds us. The way you manage stress will depend on the impact of stress to your body and how you're dealing with it, the cause of your stress, the community surrounding you, and all these different circumstances and issues. So let's go through how you should be dealing with stress. Before we can go through how we can deal with stress, I would like to ask all of you right now watching, what is stress to you? What do you think stress means? Can you share with me on the chat what you think about stress? Come on, guys, join in the discussion. What do you think stress means? Let me quickly stop the share just so that I can see. Actually, let's see here. What is stress like? Anki, we need to, let me show this one. We need to control our mind, become master of our mind. That's so true. When you don't master your mind, when you don't control your thoughts, you stress more about things. The way you react to things will dictate how your body will deal with this stress that's coming in. If you have a stress and you think, well, you know what, we're all dealing with that, but I can handle this, I can do this, this, and this, I know the protocols that I have to follow, then you deal with stress better. It doesn't affect you badly. If, on the other hand, your mind is so inundated with information and you go, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed, but let me read more, let me read more. And the more you're reading, the more your heart's beating fast and the more you're getting overwhelmed, then you're not helping your body. You're actually creating so much stress in your system that your body can shut down. One of the things that I do when I get overwhelmed is I actually tell my family and I tell my community, hold on, let's minimize that type of information because I'm getting information overload and I'm getting so stressed. Being open about how you feel to others allows others to understand how their information is impacting you. And if they do care, they will minimize the amount of information that they're sending your way. Or if they don't want to do that, then get rid of notifications because you need to protect yourself. Not everyone can understand where we're coming from. I love how people say, but you know what? We need to know this information. You know what? We all need to believe this. And we hear all these different opinions from other people. But see, other people's opinions don't matter. What matters is how you're able to deal with all this information. What matters is how you're going to be able to cope with this. Because if you can't cope, it's your health, it's not theirs. Okay? Let's see these other responses here. I really appreciate when you guys respond, and so thank you so much. Okay, we have one here, unable to figure out solutions. That's right. When we're unable to figure out solutions, we get extremely stressed. We panic, you know, and when you panic, the more you can't think, the more you can't deal. When this happens, you actually need to take time out, move back, or get out from that micro situation that you're looking at, because you all of a sudden you get tunnel vision. You got to get out of it, look at the full situation at hand, assess what's going on, and that's the only way you can think. Stress is our body's reaction of bad situation. That's good. That's a good explanation, but I have a better explanation that I will share with you in a bit after I go through all of this. Faced with a situation you have to control, you have to control, no control over. That's right. So when you are faced in a situation you have no control over, your body gets overwhelmed. But remember, you do have control over every situation. You just have to decide how you're going to control the situation. What do I mean? Let's just talk about this pandemic, for example. Let's talk about how not everyone has got access to vaccinations right now, and you're feeling overwhelmed because this is a situation that has embrace the, I'm saying embrace because it's literally, envelope the whole globe. Now, despite that, if you look out and you remove your tunnel vision, you actually all of a sudden see, hold on, there is more to see. I actually can control my diet, control how I drink, control how I think, control the information that's overwhelming me, so that I reduce the stress in my body. And once I do that, I'm able to control stress. So that's what I mean by you actually have a way to control it. Did I make sense, Abby? Did you get that? Okay. There's a lot of answers here, and I'm just trying to get a few. Happy occasion can be stressed too. Lucy, a happy occasion can be stressed too, like weddings. That's true. That's a good stress. That's you stress. That's the type of stress that we actually truly want. Okay. Good point. Communicate with others as to what info you want. So true. Okay, Lucy Bala. Over exercising can cause stress. Again, very true. Because stress is not just mental stress, it's physical stress, it's emotional stress. Stress comes in different forms. We don't want to be caught up in a storm. That is so true. But what is stress? Okay, here we go. Connie, stress is when we can't bear with all problem around us and is a source of more illness. That's a good explanation. Stress is when we are too emotionally attached to an issue. I like that one too. Let me just see if I'm missing any. That one was from Debbie. Thank you, Debbie, for that explanation. Now, let me share with you my definition of stress. Stress is someone trying to repair every situation solo. You see, we weren't meant to live our life on our own. We were meant to deal with our life with a community around us, with our family, with our spouse, with our children, with our friends, with our religious groups, with our business colleagues, with our classmates. When you try to deal with a situation with people supporting you, it becomes a less stressful situation. It is easier to deal with the situation. It is easier to find solutions to that situation and be able to get past that situation. Whenever you try and handle your situation on your own, then the stress becomes overwhelming, the stress appears. But when we remember that there is a whole community around us that can support us, or that there are communities that you can join, then you realize that, oh, you know what? I don't need to deal with this stress on my own. So, what are examples of communities? One of the groups that we are streaming into here is my Michelle Jones coaching group. In that coaching group, we talk about how we can deal with nutritional deficiencies, how we can create our own herbal remedies, how we can support hypertension, diabetes, how we can deal with all of that, how we can find from our own gardens at home the solution to our illness, our disease, um, our deficiencies. In that forum, we talk about other tools that you can use to boost your health. There's another forum here, which is called, or another group here called Wow Eyes. So in that group, we talk about the iris, the signs in the eyes, your deficiencies, your illnesses, how we can support those illnesses, how we can help each other identify weaknesses, and how we can support it with different tools that are available around us. When you are in communities like this, dealing with the issues that we have, especially in this situation we're finding in this pandemic, you find that you're now able to discuss your worries, your problems, the weaknesses that you might have, the dysfunctions you might have, with a whole group of people that can equip you with the information that you need. When you have that forum, when you have that group dealing with those situations, those illness, those dis-ease, those imbalances are easier and they become less stressful. So again, stress is when you try to do everything on your own. When you're building a business, stress is when you're trying to figure out, okay, what social media platform should I use? How do I build my business? How do I create my income flow? What is the best business to go into? But when you find yourself a business coach, an anti-aging coach, a leadership coach, a social media coach, then you have less stress because you find a solution. Stress, after all, happens when you cannot solve a problem that you are faced with. Yes, when we are with like-minded community, we feel safe and supported. Thank you, Debbie. I truly, truly agree with that. Debbie's also shared stress is when we are too emotionally attached to an issue. So true. Detaching yourself from the issue, looking at the issue from afar, getting out of that tunnel vision, widening that vision allows you to see more, allows you to be less stressed, allows you to take in more information and then assess what each of those options are that can address that situation. Awesome. Love it. So, we can't do it solo, that's for sure. Now, let me help you with the signs for stress. After all, I did say that we're going to talk about what stress is about, what causes us stress. So, how do we know that we're stressed? We find out because we're more irritable, we're angrier, we lose our appetite, we have poor sleep. I have spoken to so many people during this pandemic that have said they can't sleep, they're fatigued, they get chest pains. You know, some people, especially with children, get so much acne, and it's not just with children. You actually see adult acne happening as well. Adult acne happens because you are extremely stressed, your body is stressed, there's an imbalance in your system, and you're unable to flush out toxins from your body because of that imbalance. That's what acnes are. Back pain is a sign of stress. Headaches is an amazing, very common sign for stress. Lack of energy. People think that energy comes from food. Not necessarily. Energy comes from what is innately in you. Some people, and we have an amazing breatharian friend that gets his energy just by breathing well. We have people that go on liquid diets and get their energy just from flushing their system out. So when you're stressed, when your body's stressed, when you're emotionally stressed, when you're physically stressed, you don't have the energy to deal with anything around you. Stress also creates digestive problems. Why is that? When you're stressed, you're closed up, you're worried, you're anxious. When you're anxious, your digestive system also clogs up. So you can't poo, you can't move your bowels. So digestive problems happen. The exact opposite can also happen with extreme diarrhea because this is now your body saying, I can't deal with this, I need to flush everything out, and you just flush out with diarrhea. When you're stressed, you're also not motivated. There's a lack of motivation that's happening. So all these are different signs of stress that you feel, that you see. But there's another kind that I'd like to share with you. See, it's very important for us to identify stress because stress leads to poor health, and poor health leads to illness and a loss of income. Why am I mentioning income here? We have found out, I mean, we've known this for many years, but just in the couple of years that we've been in this pandemic, there has been so much stress from people losing their jobs, losing their income, or even with their incomes diminishing, or even if their incomes haven't diminished, just by the worry that their incomes might be affected because of what's happening. So we need to be able to identify our stressors. We need to identify how stressed we are. We need to identify what is stressing us. So how else can we identify the severity of the stress in the body? Does anyone have an idea? Anyone? Connie has shared here, digestive system is called the second brain. That is so true. That's why when we are not, in the right frame of mind, when our mindset is going haywire, when we're scared, our digestive system gets strongly affected. Thanks for sharing that, Connie. Anyone else? Oh, sorry, that was Jancy. Jancy, thank you for sharing that information. Your name, your faces, your names aren't coming out here when you haven't registered with StreamYard. So for those of you that want to have your names, please do share that information. Thank you, sweetie. This is my lovely husband using that um, my name for his platform, is sharing me a a cheering squad type reaction. Okay, anyone know how we can find out what the levels of stress are? Do you want to know? That would be a better question. If you don't know how you can measure the levels of stress in your body, do you want to know? Debbie, signs of stress is poor sleep, easily triggered emotions. That is true. But how do you know how severe your stress levels are? Okay, I'm going to share this with you. Your eyes. Your eyes reveal your stress levels. Your eyes show iridologists like myself how bad your stress levels are. In fact, your eyes give the information about your health situation and how we can help you. Iridology is the science of analyzing the signs, the shades, and constitution of the iris. The iris is the colored part of the eye. So this part that you can see here, that's the iris. So what we see there shows us how the health of the person is, how the person has been living his life, how he's been eating or she's been eating, what they're genetically predisposed to, and how best to help them improve their health. Oops, let me just try and go back. Okay. So iridology does all this. Now, why do I say genetically? Because some people are genetically stressed. This is an iris photo of a very young child. Um, Actually, this is the photo of a 2-year-old child. And if you look at the iris of this child, look at all those markings in the eyes. Even with children, you already see at that early age what they're genetically predisposed to. So this eye shows a very genetically stressed child. Therefore, identifying, is it a genetic weakness that the child has? Is that child always going to be extremely stressed? Is that child only stressed because they've got issues with their gut? Is that child only stressed because they've got issues with their lungs? After all, if you can't digest properly, if you can't move your bowels properly, that is stressful. When you can't breathe properly, that is stressful. So all this information we get from the eyes. Okay, I need to make this move slowly. Okay. Oops. Sorry, I put this on a different, there we go. The eyes reveal the severity of stress in the body and how we can better help a person. So these are 6 examples of iris photos I have taken in my practice that shows stressed people. The situations of how they're stressed and what's caused their stress are all different. And that is what we learn with iridology. This person who's got this eye was born with a deficiency because of was born with a deficiency, but not just a deficiency. This person was actually born premature. So the deficiency came from not getting fully developed in the womb. And this person has been struggling all his life to actually just get the health that his body has needed. As an adult now, he is fine, he is healthy, he's dealt with all those issues in his body, but because of how he was born, the issues when he was born, the weaknesses in his body's inability to be able to process and get him healthy straight away from the get-go has caused him to be genetically stressed and extremely stressed and anxious. This eye shows a different story, and so does this. Again, depending on what we see in your iris will actually help you. So, with some people, they just come into the clinic and they say, oh, I'm stressed. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to change it. I remember going to a doctor's clinic and the doctor said, oh, all those issues that you're having with your gut, with your migraines, they're just from stress. And I thought, oh my God, then I'm screwed because I can't do anything about it. I will always have stress. I will always worry. I worry about my children. I worry about the moves that we make. So does that mean that's it for me? And had I known about iridology back then, I would have been able to assist the doctor better in how he could help me. So this is now how I help others. We look into their iris. We look at what their stress levels are like, what's caused their stress, what can be strengthened in their constitution, in their body, with their health that can actually contribute to de-stressing their system. So this is another situation where with finding someone that can help you, an iridologist like myself or a naturopath like myself, who knows how to look at the signs in your eyes, you now can work as a team and your practitioner can now give you the solution for your issues that can help diminish your stress. So let me give you another example. This iris here. This person, this iris sign of a huge pupil is actually a sign of someone that's extremely stressed and nearing burnout. So I've got another photo of this person where the eyeballs, the middle of the iris, the black of the iris, actually came to almost just leaving this much on the edge of the iris. So, or even half of this. And I spoke to the person, and we organized protocols identifying everything that they're going through with their job, in their life, finding support for them so that they can actually deal with the stressors better. Incorporated more rest, more sleep, more time to meditate and assess things to actually help get rid of what's happening in his system. And adding to that nutritional deficiencies that we can also identify with the iris. So in this iris, I can see and I can tell that this person has had difficulty digesting foods, difficulty both with proteins and carbohydrates. So what are our foods created with? We've got carbohydrates, we've got proteins, we've got fats. Does that mean that this person can only eat fats? Of course not. So it was just a matter of identifying how we could fix a better program or better diet for this person to actually implement. So these are the things that we see through the iris, and this is how iridology helps identify stress levels. Wow, do you know that first person born premature because he told you, or could you identify that by looking at the iris? Both. You could identify it with the iris, and of course, when you see stuff, we ask questions. We ask our patients questions about what they go through, and that's how we put the puzzle together. So basically, a person, a health situation, or a client that comes in because of health issues, come in like a broken puzzle. We have to stick all the different pieces of the puzzle together to identify how best to help the person. And the iris signs is one part of how we can help the person, complete that puzzle and complete a good protocol, a good program for that person. No worries, Anki. That's right. Go ahead. So here in Indonesia, people have gone into fasting now. They are doing their fasting throughout the day, and they do what we call the buka puasa. I think about 5:30. Is that right, Anki? Can't remember if it's 5:30 or 6:30, but that's when they actually start eating. That is another stress that people here in Indonesia, that Muslims everywhere in the world are having right now, the stress of not eating throughout the day, not drinking throughout the day, except at dawn, and there you go, 5:50 at night. So when you know how to deal with all that, when you know as well how to buka puasa, what to have when you start um, eating, when you're able to end your fast, is really important. What you feed yourself is really important. I know that you have to start off with a sweet, but remember that what a sweet does, if it's all sweets or if it's a huge amount of sweet, is it gives you a sugar spike and a sugar drop. So if you're going to have some sugar spike, for example, with dates, which is the common thing that you guys have here, it's good to actually normalize that with food that can sustain your energy levels and can give you the energy, the nutrients that your body needs so that you can actually have a better buka puasa. We should have another topic on that one. Okay, so let us go on. So if you're interested in those iris and to how to identify the iris signs, I know Debbie, you've said here, do tell. So join, I've got a course. You've been asking about my iridology course. The April course is fully booked, and that first week we've finished the first week last week. We're doing we've done part one last week. We're doing part two this coming week. But in May, we have a weekend course for iridology for those of you that are working and can't take time off. Our May course is a good one to attend because it's only every Saturday. It's going to be 5 Saturdays of this full-on 8-hour course. But at the end of those 5 days, at the end of your 5 weeks, because that's 5 Saturdays, at the end of your 5 weeks, you will be fully equipped with the information that you need to read people's iris. In fact, if you submit your assignments at the end of those 5 weeks, you will be able to join you will be able to join a review. That review will take you to be able to sit down your exam. We pay for your exam. We pay for your membership to the International Iridology Practitioners Association, which is the governing body of iridology in the world. Our cores are accredited with them. And with that accreditation, when you pass that exam, you will be a fully fledged iridologist who can actually practice. So if you're interested in that, whether it's to just know how you can help yourself and your family, or if it's to add an additional tool under your belt, for those of you who are keen on health and wellness, for those of you who are kinesiologists, nutritionists, who have yoga, Pilates under your belt, add this because this will be able to help you further in helping your clients identify what their weaknesses are. If they have genetic weaknesses, if they have muscular weaknesses, if they have spinal misalignments, if they have inability of flushing out toxins, if they have weak connective tissues, weak muscles, or weak bones, if they have stress in their gut or stress in their body. All this information you can find in the eyes. So go and check out this course, sign up for it, register for it. Just go to michelletjones.com/iridology course. And again, as I said, this will start on the 1st of May. Okay. So how do we turn all this stress into wellness? Okay, so I'm just double checking that I didn't miss any questions. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so how do we turn stress into wellness? Simple, by being mindful. First of all, be mindful what you're doing, be mindful what you're eating, be mindful what you're reading, be mindful the information that you're receiving, be mindful the words that you say, be mindful of the things around you. You know, it's so funny because we do our workouts in the gym, but I actually enjoy working out more in the gym now, because on the gym, in the gym, when I'm walking on the treadmill, it now shows me paths to different parts. So, like the other day, I was looking at a jogging trail in the city of Auckland from the docks, and it went on to Brighton Road, I think is what it's called. The other time, it was showing me a path that was similar to the path that I used to take when we were walking in Mulligan's Flat in Canberra. So seeing those things and just looking at the area, understanding what it's showing, enjoying what it's presenting, being mindful of the movements you're doing actually de-stresses you. Being mindful of the people around you, greeting people around you, seeing the smiles on their faces, seeing what's good around you actually helps you de-stress. When you're mindful, you see everything, you're grateful about the people around you, you're grateful about what's in front of you. All that adds to you being less stressed. Maintain a schedule. When you don't have a schedule and you have all this overwhelming list of things that you need to do, it's very difficult to be on top of things. It's very difficult to know what to do. It's very difficult to find a solution to your problem. So let's give, for example, workload, especially for moms that work from home, because that's what I am. I work from home. And I have a son that's doing homeschool, and I have a husband who every other week works from home. If I don't write my to do stuff or the tasks I want completed, rather than to do list, I have tasks that I want to complete. If I don't write them down, I can't maintain my schedule, because every now and again they'll call me and they'll want something. If I don't include in my schedule my time to cook, if I don't include in my schedule time to sit and bond with my son and my husband, it will take up on the time that I need to actually finish my work. So maintain a schedule. It's the easiest way to be able to complete your tasks for the day while keeping yourself stress free. Third, remember that you are your number one asset. A lot of mothers, a lot of single parents, a lot of parents who are raising their kids, whether you're a father, an aunt, a nanny. If you don't remember that you're the number one asset and you put all your effort and your energy on the people that you care for, you will stress yourself, you will get yourself sick, you will not be able to continuously help the people that you're meant to help. If you're a coach like myself and you have a whole group of people that you're helping, and you don't schedule or time it or limit it to an amount that is workable for you, then you overwork yourself, then you stress yourself. Remember that you need to be able to work and sleep and have fun and exercise and have love and have time to meditate. When you have all that, when you allow yourself all that, then you can rebuild yourself, you can strengthen yourself, and you can continuously serve your family, your group, your congregation, your community. But you will not be able to do it if you forget that you're number one. You need to support yourself. The fourth, incorporate the five must do's to good health. So, what are the five must do's to good health? First, stop and breathe. If you don't stop and breathe, you don't allow yourself to just control and enjoy your breathing. Stress makes you breathe faster. Stress makes your breath more controlled. When your breathing is so shallow and very controlled, you get more panicked. So stop and just breathe. Breathe and just relax. When you breathe, properly, when you breathe from your gut, you actually help rebuild yourself. When you breathe from your lungs, it's breathing that actually allows very little space for your lungs to fill up with oxygen. When you breathe from your gut, you allow more space for oxygen to get into your lungs so that you can actually have more oxygen to breathe with. So remember that. And stopping is the important bit there. If you don't stop, you can't breathe. You can't inhale. You can't take on more ideas. As you breathe in, you extend your lungs, you extend your chest, and you expand your chest, sorry, and you actually allow more ideas to also come in. You welcome what the universe has to offer. You show a more open self to the universe to actually bring in more solutions, more support, more help. Second, drink plenty of water. So let me just have a drink right now. Oh, I was so thirsty. Stop, drink plenty of water, but it's not just about drinking plenty of water, but it's drinking the right kind of water. We are 70% water. We are made of more water than nutrients, than bones, than muscles, than skin, than any of these other things. We are more water. Every time we urinate, we sweat, we move, whenever we're in an air conditioned room, we lose water. So, in order to be able to continue the processes that our body has to complete, the processes our body has to do, we have to drink plenty of water, but we need to drink plenty of good, alkalinized, high antioxidant water that actually absorbs into your system. So I'm being very specific here. You need to have high alkaline water because with all the stress around us, our body is more acidic than usual. Stress, meat, coffee, worry, pollution, virus, infection, um, soft drinks, alcohol, all of these things contribute to our body becoming more and more acidic. As our body becomes more and more acidic, imbalance happens in our system. Our blood needs to maintain a blood alcohol of 7.42. If it drops below that, there is imbalance. Our body stresses, our body panics, our body pulls out minerals from our bones, creating uh, less dense bones and bringing in osteoporosis. So we need to be able to drink high alkaline water. We need high antioxidant water because you know what? If water is H2O, it has to contain oxygen. Is that oxygen oxidized? Is that oxygen antioxidant? What type of water do you have? Is your water oxidizing? Is your water antioxidizing? Stress, meat, coffee, alcohol, ill health, infections, pollution, all these again contribute to a more highly oxidized body. When you have a highly oxidized system, you have what we call oxidative stress, which creates oxidative damage, which creates your cells dying. So, what do? You take in a lot of antioxidants in terms of supplements, in terms of high antioxidant foods. But supplements and high antioxidant foods have to be absorbed through a menstruum. What is the menstruum? Water. If you drink water that is high in antioxidants, then 75% of you has got the antioxidants needed to reboot, replenish, rebuild your body. The third one that I mentioned is easily absorbed. Not all our water are easily absorbed in our system. I would like to share with you a Facebook page that I've got. It's called Kangen Canberra. Go into Kangen Canberra or go to kangencanberra.com. And in kangencanberra.com, you will be able to see how our body can get all these antioxidants from water on its own and how different waters are absorbed differently. Tap water, filtered water, um, flavored water, water where they've added more minerals, processed water, all these different kinds of water are actually difficult for our system to absorb because of how they've been processed, because of the chemicals in them, because they have become what we call dead water. Boiled water is also dead water. So make sure that you have, again, water that your body can easily absorb. Water that is high in antioxidants, water that is very high alkaline. In our family, we have always, and all of you that follow me see that we always have our Kangen machine. Kangen machine creates high alkaline, high antioxidant, high oxygen, and antioxidant rich water. So drink that water, drink good water in high quantities to replenish what your body's losing and to rebuild your system. Third, eat a healthy, balanced meal. When you eat healthy, balanced meal, make sure it's balanced. Don't have too much fats, don't have too much protein, don't have too much carbohydrates. Too much carbohydrates converts into sugar in your body, sugar converts into fat, into hypertension, into diabetes, and all sorts of other illnesses. When you have too much protein, your body has to be able to break it down properly without enough veggies and fibers in your system. Your body can't absorb those nutrients, cannot convert to amino acids. So, balance is crucial. Healthy is crucial. What is healthy? The simplest form of food is healthy. Smoothies, juices, blending raw foods is healthy. Cooking food in the least amount of time, or cooking food so you're not overcooking your veggies is really important. So learn how to eat healthy and learn how to balance your meals. Organic food is better than non-organic food because the less pesticides you have in your food, the better for your body, the less toxins are absorbed into your system. If you don't have organic foods, learn how to actually get rid of pesticides from your foods. Have the means and the tools around you to break down pesticides from your foods so that your body can actually absorb only the healthy nutrients and not the pesticides, not the toxicity that is in the food. Supplement and support your body. Aside from eating healthy, when you have an imbalanced system, when your body's immunocompromised, when you're battling a disease or battling an illness, or when you have other issues, underlying issues, you need to remember that you need to supplement. Food on its own may not be enough. You need to be able to boost your system. So supplementing with a good multivitamin, a vitamin that's high in B complex, a vitamin high in vitamin C, a vitamin high in zinc are really important right now. So make sure that you have good supplements. Understand what good supplements are. And if you don't know, join our coaching group. In our coaching group, I guide you into what the good herbs are as well to convert into medicine from your home, what the good supplements are to take. What supplements are you taking that your body actually isn't absorbing? So learn all that by joining a group that can actually educate you in all this information. So join my Michelle Jones coaching group on Facebook. Exercise. Exercise is crucial. Every part of our body is muscle. Our eyes have muscles, our cheeks have muscles, our mouth have muscles, our skeletal system, our body has muscles, our brain has muscles. Every part of us is composed of muscles which we don't use. If we don't use, actually gets weak and causes us to get sick. So exercise. Exercise also releases endorphins. It releases good hormones. It releases more energy, allows you to sleep better, allows your body to rebuild better. So again, remember the 5 must-dos for good health. We work for our family and our community, but the only way we can provide for them is if we remember that we are number one, that we are our assets, and that if we don't have us, there's no one that will work towards the betterment of our family, our community, our congregation, our group, our patients, our clients. So you're number one. The only way for you to be able to keep giving back to your family, to your community, and to all of these is if you keep your immune system up. Okay, so this is where I end the live for everyone else. If you have questions, let's go back to our Facebook, type up your questions, and I will answer your questions. And if you don't, I will be ending the live on all the other platforms except for the Michelle Jones coaching group, because as I said, we are going to go deeper into how you guys can now identify what your stress levels are like, what we can do to support our stress levels. And again, like all our other workshops, we will have our little tidbits that you will be able to start doing after today. Before I do that, I'm going to answer some questions and I'm just going to check out what is happening on our Facebook. Connie, if you can help me, if there are questions I'm not seeing, please do let me know. Okay. Jancy, what about warm water? So, warm water, if you're boiling tap water, a lot of people boil tap water to get rid of the bacteria in tap water, the parasites in tap water. And what they do when they do this is actually, sorry, let me just stop my sharing for a while. Okay. What they do when they start organizing or drinking their warm water is they're getting rid of this, but warm water is considered dead water. You do absorb warm water, but you absorb it after having gotten rid of a lot of the other things that your body also needs. So warm water is great only if you're using clean water or good water. Does that make sense, Jancy? At the end of the day, it's not just about what warm water can do for you. It's about, is that warm water acidic or is it alkaline? Is that warm water antioxidant or oxidizing? Have you tested your water? So those are the different things. And as I said, if you want to understand a little bit more about that, check out kangencanberra.com because it will show you how. There is a Facebook page that's also called Kangen Canberra. Awesome. Okay. Many have eye stress now and dry eyes and blurry eyes from staring at mobile and computer screens. Any solutions? Yes, there are a few things that you can do. One is a lot of the students now actually have this blue glasses. So they have blue tinted glasses that actually help stop all this radiation, the light, the effect of this lighting from our computer onto our eyes. That's one of the things and one of the ways that they can get rid of the tiredness and the exhaustion of the eyes. When your eyes are exhausted, it can cause blurry vision. Now, blurry vision can also be caused by malnutrition. If you don't have the right minerals that you're feeding your body, it can give you blurry vision. Not exercising your eyes can also give you blurry vision, can tire your eyes more. So, as I said, the more you exercise your eyes, the stronger your eye muscles become and the better your vision becomes. Now, there are other things that affect eye health. Some of them are aging. Aging diminishes your eye's ability to stay healthy. One of the things that help that is growth hormones. Growth hormones can actually rebuild your eye strength, your clarity, your vision, and can prevent blurry vision. Another thing that we do with the Kangen water is we actually drop Kangen water 9.5 into our eyes The 9.5 clears our eyes, increases antioxidants in our eyes, and actually helps relieve dry eyes and also relieve the blurry vision. So there are different solutions that we can implement. Does caffeine in tea and coffee have oxidizing effect? Caffeine or coffee in both tea and caffeine in both coffee and tea and even chocolates have antioxidant properties. So they can be antioxidizing to our body. However, they also have other components. So in order to ensure the antioxidizing effects are not how do you call it diminished by the negative properties, you have to make sure that you have your coffee, your tea, and your chocolates in um, good quantities, in healthy quantities. Don't overdo your alcohol intake as well. You know how red wine has antioxidants, but if you're drinking like several glasses of red wine, you've killed the antioxidant effect. Coffee is the same. If you're drinking like 4 or 5 cups of coffee a day, then the overstimulated nervous system is also not good for you. Although it can be antioxidizing when you're overwhelming your nervous system, then you're exhausting your nervous system as well. So I hope that makes sense, Jancy. Awesome, awesome. Okay. Any other questions that I've missed, Connie? Help here. Okay. Do eye issues like cataract, etc., affect iridology reading? Um, no. See, cataracts are seen in the black of the eye, not the outside part of the eye. So we can still read what's going on with their health through that. We can also see cataracts that are just about to happen, or people who have tendencies towards cataract, though their doctors might not see it yet or call it cataracts just yet. So yeah, so iridology gives you so much information. And a lot of the times, what I love about iridology, it gives you signs and warnings about health issues that you have not necessarily felt yet. It identifies genetic weaknesses, as I said. So genetic weaknesses aren't necessarily activated weaknesses just yet. But knowing what those genetic weaknesses are, knowing what can activate it, knowing what you can strengthen so it doesn't get activated, helps you prevent illness. It's an amazing preventative tool. Our already fruits and veggies have supplements and vitamins. Are extra supplements needed? Yes. So why is that? See, Jen, see, the way we have been farming in the last 100 years have actually diminished the nutrient levels of our food because we have had use of so many pesticides, fertilizers in our soils, means that the nutrient levels of a lot of our fruits and veggies have diminished. The other thing that affects all these nutrients in our food is your digestive system. How strong is your digestive system? How is your digestive system in breaking down the nutrients of your food and absorbing the nutrients from it? So the level or the strength of your digestive system also dictates how well your body can get the nutrients from this food and fruits and veggies that you're taking. A lot of people, unfortunately, because of the diet that we've been implementing for the last 100 years, have now made our digestive systems weaker. So we don't chew our greens, for example, the same way as we used to. When the only way for us to actually absorb all the nutrients in our greens is for us to macerate it. But what we do is we chew a bit and then we swallow. unless we actually macerate our food, we can't get the nutrients from it properly. So, more often than not, when people are immunocompromised, I recommend that they blend their greens, blend their fruits, so that they now don't need to break down their food through chewing. They just basically absorb all these nutrients directly. So, when your body is not immunocompromised, you can get everything from everything that you eat around you. But when it is immunocompromised, you need it extra. You need to provide it extra support. So when I say supplements, I also mean herbs. So Jancy, you're in our coaching group. You can look at what herbs you can actually start taking as medicine so that it gives you the nutrients that your body needs. Okay? Questions from pages have been covered. Awesome. Thanks, Connie. Why do we see people with a lot of stress have gray hair? What supplements are needed for this issue of pre-graying, etc.? Okay. So this is from Debbie. Debbie, gray hair is actually a mineral deficiency. It can be a genetic weakness as well, but it is definitely a mineral deficiency. As I said, because we don't eat properly, even if we say, oh, I have a balanced meal, a lot of the times people don't. When we say, oh, I always eat a balanced amount of carbohydrates, fats, and protein. A lot of the times, the types of protein that we use are also proteins that our body can't break down properly and our body can't get nutrients from properly. So, because of all this, the structure, the framework of our body is weak. When the framework of our body is weak, I mean, the mineral levels, the supplement levels, the hormone levels are weak. And when that's the case, then our body has to get its nutrients from somewhere. And it gets it from the least needed parts of our body. Our hair is considered our least important part. So a lot of times when you have poor hair quality, when you have weak hair, when you've got falling hair or thin hair, that means that your body's getting the nutrients that's supposed to go to your hair and giving it to the more important parts, which is your heart, your lungs, your gut, your liver, and all those other parts. With your question about a lot of stress, again, as I mentioned earlier, some are born genetically stressed. It's been passed on from your parents, it's been passed on from your grandparents. And this genetic, knowing what your genetic weakness is, can be powerful if we equip it with the tools to actually support these genetic weaknesses. Okay, I hope I've answered that one. Awesome. Great. Thank you, Michelle. Okay, come on. Wow. Thank you. Thanks for the cheering squad, guys. Love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to end this now. Thank you for everyone that have watched. If you're watching it as a replay, please type replay or hashtag replay and give me your comments. Let me know what you thought about this live stream. I would strongly recommend everyone to jump in and join in the Michelle Jones private coaching group on Facebook. There are 3 questions that you have to fill out before you can be let into the group. And I promise you, there's a lot of amazing information there. Also, if you are interested to learn more about the iris, make sure that you register through our site, and it is called michelletjones.com/iridology course. That's the link to go to register for the iridology course. You will go into a platform, and this is a live iridology course that will start in May, every Saturday of May for 5 Saturdays. At the end of those 5 Saturdays, you have everything that you need to be able to read other people's iris and to be able to help them. Okay. Thank you for the information, fabulous information. Awesome. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Theodore. And who is this one? Sorry, I am trying to see what this is. I cannot see who this came from, but thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. Okay, so we are now going to go unlive ourselves on the other platforms and keep on staying with me if you're on the coaching platform. If you are not on the coaching platform, jump in, complete everything. Connie will approve you so that you can jump on for the next batch. Now, if you're going to be joining me on this next one, bring out your iPhones. Make sure you're watching me live on a different platform on your computer, ideally, so you can take a photo of your iris and join me. Identify if your stress levels are bad, if they're okay, what we can do to actually make them better. So again, thank you everyone. Let me just slowly get out of here. If I disappear in the coaching group, don't worry, I will jump right back in. Okay? Okay, let me make sure I go. Okay. I don't know how to unlive myself on the others. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I have to end the broadcast and then jump back on to our coaching group. I'll see you there. Thank you, everyone.